I am Professor Dr. A.B. Ota. I am currently Advisor cum Director and Special Secretary, Tribal Research Institute, Odisha, and I am also heading the Odisha State Tribal Museum. Friends, today we will be discussing on an overview of tribal development in Odisha. As you know, Odisha is considered as the homeland of the tribals. 22.85% of its population belong to the tribal communities. And this is the state, in fact, this is the third largest tribal populated state in the entire country. The state has 62 tribal communities and 13 particularly vulnerable tribal groups. As per 2011 census, the state has more than 95 lakh tribal population. If you look at the distribution of the tribal population of the state, you will find that tribals are very thickly concentrated in 119 tribal development blocks. When I say tribal development blocks, you must remember that blocks having more than 50% tribal population are regarded as tribal development blocks. We have 119 such blocks spread over 13 districts, and you find more than 29,000 villages where tribals inhabit. If you see the tribal subplan area and the non-tribal subplan area, tribals are distributed in both the areas. So far as tribal subplan areas are concerned, we have 66.03% tribals residing there, and outside the TSP area, 33.97% tribals reside. If you look at the land area which tribals occupy, although tribals of the state are 22.85% in its proportion, you find tribals to be occupying about 45% of the total landscape of the state. Status of tribals in the state of Odisha, when I say status in terms of human development index. As you know, disaggregated data for the tribals is very, very scanty, not only in the state of Odisha, throughout the entire country. Whatever little data we get, we mostly get from census, NFHS data, and few other secondary sources. Taking the available key human development indicators data into consideration, we find that the tribals are in fact considerably at a lower level compared to the general population of the state. We have tried to identify 19 human development indicators, out of which only there are 3 indicators where the tribals excel, but in all other 16 tribal human development indicators, the tribals are way below the general population. If you look at the infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, child mortality rate, institutional delivery, literacy, in all these important human development indicators, the tribals are way behind. But there are 3 indicators you must know where tribals excel. When I say excel, tribals have a better, standing compared to the overall scenario of the state. They are the population growth. When you see the population growth is around 17.5% for the tribals, whereas for the entire state, it is around 14%. Similarly, you will find the sex ratio is 1,029 females per 1,000 male for the tribals, whereas in the entire state, you find it is to be around 979 female as against 1,000 male. One more, indicator where tribals are better than the non-tribals is average land holding. Average land holding for the tribals in the state of Odisha is 1.07%, whereas for the entire state, the average land holding comes to about 0.90%, 0.90 acres, which is way below the tribals. As you know, the tribals of Odisha are experiencing a number of difficulties. They are confronted with a number of problems. There are many problems that one finds to be encountered by the tribals. I'd just like to give you some of the important, problems which are experienced by the tribals. One of the biggest problem is the illiteracy. You find the literacy rate among the tribal is very low. Only in recent times, because of opening of residential schools by the government, the literacy rate has increased, but then illiteracy is still grappling the tribals, and that is one of the important problems. Second important problem which the tribals are experiencing is the indebtedness. Government is claiming, we are also thinking that probably the institutional mechanism, lending mechanism through banks have become very easy, even for the tribals and in the tribal areas. No, still it continues to be a very big problem. The private moneylenders are still, lending money to the tribals, and it is very difficult for the tribals to come out of the debt trap. Third important problem which the tribals are experiencing is the land alienation. Because of mining companies, corporate houses, various development projects, the tribal land is getting acquired by the government. When I say tribal land, I mean the land which is possessed by the tribal mostly do not have land rights in case of the tribals. So when such land is getting alienated in favor of various corporate houses, government programs, the tribals are put to a lot of difficulty because they have no other economic alternative other than the land on which they were depending for ages. You must be knowing about the left-wing extremism in Odisha and also in neighboring states like Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. You will be astonished to know that there are 75 blocks out of 314 blocks in the state of Odisha where left-wing extremism activities are very prominently found. As a result of this, the tribals are facing a lot of difficulty, and the development activities are also coming to a standstill position. Inaccessibility, as you know, is a big problem that still exists amongst the tribals. In recent times, you must have heard about a village called Nogada in Jajpur district. That village is located from the main connecting road by 17 kilometers, and that is a tribal Juang village. One has to travel 17 kilometers and literally one has to trek and climb the mountain to reach that village. Development had not reached the doorstep of such tribal communities. Like Nogada, there are more than 1,000 tribal villages in the state which have acute inaccessibility. Road connectivity is a problem. These are some of the important problems which is grappling the tribals, though government is trying its best to overcome these problems. Even then, the tribals are the victim of these menaces. Friends, you must be knowing about Planning Commission. For every 5 years, there is a plan period, and the major thrust of activities are decided by the Planning Commission. If you look back to the history, you will find that from first plan period to 12th plan period, there has been various development approaches. When I said development approaches, spatial development approaches also were done by Government of India through Planning Commission till 2014. From 2014 onwards, the Planning Commission regime ended and Niti Aayog regime came. Notwithstanding whether this is Planning Commission or Niti Aayog, Government of India has been trying its best to make out special strategy for the tribals to ensure that accelerated development takes place and the tribals are mainstreamed. When I say about the mainstreaming of the tribals, we must also see what are the institutional mechanisms in place in the state of Odisha for the tribal development, for the implementation of various plans and programs. Friends, I just, a couple of minutes before told you that there are 119 tribal sub-plan blocks, or better known as tribal development blocks. These 119 tribal development blocks have been clubbed under 22 integrated tribal development agencies. Just like the tribal development agencies, we also have 17 micro projects for the particularly vulnerable tribal groups set up to address the special problems, issues of 13 particularly vulnerable tribal groups located in different parts of the state. Apart from that, you find 45 modified area development agencies located in 46 blocks of the state. Apart from that, you find 13 tribal pockets and many dispersed areas, locations where tribal development activities are extended through the concerned blocks. These are the implementing agencies at the district level and down below. In addition to this, you find 13 districts have 13 district welfare officers who basically looks after the education and various socioeconomic development activities which are meant for the tribals. Friends, at the state level, there are also institutions through which tribal development takes place. The institutions, I'll just, tell you, try to know about it. We have a TDCC, Tribal Development Cooperative Corporation Limited, which takes care of the minimum support price for the minor forest produce of the tribals. Besides TDCC, we have ST and SC Financial Development Corporation, which lends money to individuals and groups for undertaking various kinds of livelihood activities. We have an institution called OMTEX, Odisha Model Tribal Education Society. This looks after the education of the tribals, especially the Ekalabya Model residential schools and the schools which are located in the PVTG areas in the micro project known as the educational complexes. Apart from that, we have this institution, which is the oldest of all the tribal research institutes of the country. It prepares various kinds of plans, programs, action plans. It also evaluates the ongoing development programs and provides input to the government to make mid-course corrections, and also it advises government and identifies critical areas of concern of the tribal, on the basis of which government takes a lot of programs addressing the core and critical issues of the tribals. You also find recently a society that has been formed known as Odisha Tribal Development Society, or OTDS. It particularly looks after the livelihood initiatives for the tribals under SCA 2 TSP and Article 275(1). These are two sources from which Government of India provides money to the state government, which in turn is given to the ITDS to ensure the livelihood initiatives. There are also a couple of organizations which are externally aided projects. You might be knowing that there is one OTELP, Odisha Tribal Empowerment and Livelihood Program, which takes care of the livelihood and empowerment of 20 most backward tribal blocks of the state. And this is a program which is run with the assistance of IFAD, WFP, and erstwhile one British funding agency. Right now there is a very new project which has come up, which is a 10-year-old project, which is specially designed for the improvement of the PVTGs, and this is called as OPELIP. This OPELIP is again a IFAD-assisted project and is done on a convergence mode. It has started from 2014-15, and it is expected that by the time the project comes to an end, the particularly vulnerable tribal groups will be mainstreamed. Friends, apart from these institutions, you find a number of new initiatives Government of Odisha has undertaken for the tribals. One such program is a health and nutrition related program with the support of UNICEF. This program is called as Jeevan Sampark, which aims at improving the health and nutritional status of the children and mother belonging to the PVTGs. Apart from UNICEF, UNFPA is also supporting the state government in providing skill education program, life skill education program to all the children studying in 1,731 residential schools of ST and SC Development Department. Recently, from last year, Ajimji Premji Philanthropic Foundation also has extended its helping hand for the development of the tribals, and they are contributing a lot in ensuring the improvement of health and nutritional status of tribal children, whereas UNICEF is looking after the PVTG. This foundation is looking after improvement of health and nutritional status of all other tribal children. Friends, question must be coming to your mind when tribal development is so much so talked about and focused, where from the fund comes, where from the money comes for the tribal development. Friends, the state fund is the biggest fund which is available for the tribal development. So when I say the state sector fund, what is that fund? What is that amount? You see, Constitution has mandated that the state must earmark that percentage of fund which is proportionate to the percentage of tribal population of a state from its total budget. Let us say, for example, we have 100 crore of rupees for the entire budget of the state of Odisha for 2019-20. Then 22.50 crores, which is 22.50%, because tribals are 22.85% of the total population of the state, will be earmarked for the tribal development. You see, Odisha has very, very huge budgetary allocation. 22.5% of its total budget is earmarked for the tribal development. So fund is never a problem. Apart from this, where from funds come for the tribal development? Friends, there are two sources which the Constitution mandates Government of India to provide us funds. One is Article 275(1), which is used to build infrastructure in the tribal areas. And there is another source called as Special Central Assistance to Tribal Subscheme. How much we get money? Now, I was looking at the statistics. We get about 200 crore under each one of these heads from Government of India. There is a kitty of Article 2751 and SCA to TSP with Government of India. It distributes to state basing on the proportion of tribal population it has in the state. For example, I have told you Odisha has 22.85% of the total tribal population of the state. But when you talk of the population of the country, you find Odisha contributes 9.17% of the total tribal population to the nation. So out of the kitty, Odisha gets, or Odisha's entitlement is 9.17%. Whatever will be the kitty, Odisha will get 9.17% of it under both Article 2751 as well as SCA to TSS. Besides, we get another chunk of money under a plan called CCD plan, Conservation cum Development Plan, for the PV teachers. We also get special allocation for the LWE affected tribal districts. So these are broadly some of the funds that we get. There are other sources too, but these are the main sources from which we get fund. Friends, when we say that so much of development activities are taking place, so much of funds we are getting, we must try to find out whether tribal development is happening or not. In fact, if we look at the statistics and try to see whether tribal development has happened or not, well, I must tell you that tribal development has certainly happened, but it is happening at a very slow pace. You will definitely ask me, how do we know that tribal development has happened? And which are the areas where tribal development has taken place? Friends, I told you at the beginning that certain human development indicators are available for which statistical data is at hand. If you scan some of those, you will find that the infant mortality rate of the tribals, maternal mortality rate, child mortality rate has decreased substantially over the years. The literacy rate has increased. You will also find the institutional delivery has been much, much more. You find the connectivity to be relatively better than what was happening some time back. And the cultural resistance that one found to be very, very acute decades back is slowly getting away. So these are some of the indicators to show that tribal development has happened, but it has not happened at the pace in which we expected, to happen. So there is a slow-paced development. When we say slow-paced development, again, the question that will come to our mind is, why slow-paced development? Why can slow-paced development be a fast-track mode development? Friends, I must tell you, there are a couple of reasons for which slow-paced development is happening. I have told you at the beginning that inaccessibility is a big threat for the slow-paced development. Illiteracy still, looms large. You find cultural barriers, cultural stigma, taboo to be really causing a lot of problem. Apart from these 3 or 4 important, stumbling blocks, you also find left-wing extremism to be a big, big threat for the tribal pockets and for the tribals to, grow. One of the most important, reason as to why tribal development is slow-paced is people are very reluctant to go and join in tribal areas even if they get job. And if somebody goes to a tribal pocket, you will find him or her to be a very reluctant worker. So these are some of the things which is responsible. And you also find the planning which is expected to be done bottom up is still top down largely. And through a consultative process, the programs are not planned out, for which whatever planning is done, whatever implementation of program is done, it is really not percolating to the downmost tribal beneficiary. So if we need to really do tribal development effectively, efficiently, with a human touch, then we should try to identify the felt needs of the people. We must prepare a plan in consultation with them in a very, very participatory manner so that the plan can be a tribal plan and not a plan by us which will be implemented for the tribal. And only such a plan will be able to deliver the goods and the tribal can really sustainably develop.